morally wrong to have an abortion in the third trimester. However, it's not my place to tell somebody else what to do in their third trimester of pregnancy.
Okay, cool. So do we only legislate things when it affects other people, or do we do it at any time where there's a rights violation?
Give me an example of what you mean.
Like I gave you an example, domestic abuse laws. That doesn't technically affect other people, but it's still
It does,
legal.
because the abuser is affecting the abused.
No,
That's
that's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why we should legislate against it, even though it doesn't affect people that aren't involved in it. We should always legislate.
as someone who was in a physically abusive relationship, I can promise you, if she doesn't want the police involved, she's not going to call the police.
Well, I don't.
So having that law doesn't really
so
affect that dynamic unless she wants it to be.
We should still legislate anti-abortion laws regardless of if the woman is going to call the police or not. We should always have those laws in place to protect the rights of people. Always.
Right, if she wants them protected. That's what I'm saying. That law isn't forcing her to call the police. That's a law that's there to protect her if she wants the protection. Do you see what I'm saying?
Are there to protect the fetus, their right to life.
I've never met a fetus who asked to be protected.
You've never met a baby that has to be protected either. So are you saying you support infanticide?
No, I'm saying that once it's outside of the body, it has rights.
Well, why? Because they didn't ask to be protected either.
Because it's been born.
But so now you're shifting the goalpost from asking to being protected to being born.
You're saying that a fetus should be protected. It should be given the same rights as a person who's been born. And I think that's incorrect.
I think both the fetus and a born person have the right to not be killed. Absolutely.
Well, that's your objective morality. Mine is different.
So why does your stage of development have any indicator of when you have the right to not be killed?
The stage of development is at birth. Like I said, I'm morally opposed to third trimester abortions. Anything past the 24th, 25th-ish week, I'm opposed to it for my own moral standing. Well, but no, I don't believe
not opposed to it
that everybody else.
Everyone does it, exactly. So you're not opposed to it. That's like me saying, I'm against murder for myself, but I don't care if other people, like, you're not opposed to it then. You're not. You might feel something against it, but you're not opposed to it enough to consider it a rights violation.
I wouldn't do it myself. I mean, is what I mean by that.
I wouldn't murder anybody myself, but if I still want it to be legal, clearly I'm not anti-murder.
Murder isn't always illegal.
Yes, it is. Murder is actually a legal term specifically. I can give you the definition of murder.
There's justified homicide. Have you heard of that?
Well,
self-defense.
Homicide is different from murder, actually. Murder is premeditated. Homicide is just defined as causing the death of another person. So there's a distinction there.
You said killing another person.
Yes, so like I said in the other life, murder is always killing. Killing is not always murder. Murder is a legal term.
So you're putting the word murder on something that's not murder because it's a legal term.
I don't call abortion murder. I call it killing specifically.
Do you see what it says right above Chantel's head?
I didn't say that.
I truly believe it's murder.
Chantel, if you'd like to explain, you can.
Yeah, no, according to the law, you're right. It is legal and it shouldn't be. But I like to say that it's murder because it's premeditated. Abortion is premeditated killing, murder. That's exactly what it is. I don't like to sugarcoat it. I think we should call it exactly what it is. You're ending a human life. That's it.
I don't call it murder because I don't know. I think it's a little bit. It just allows for too much like leeway. But if you would like to, that's fine. I just don't agree with that, personally, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know legally. I know that that's not the proper way.
I agree with like the connotation of it. I agree with like the connotation of it that it's premeditated and causing the death of another. It's just like the whole legal distinctions are what make it confusing.
Exactly.
Okay, and with that, I will end this because I feel like we're just talking in circles. So you ladies have a great night. Thank you for the chat.
The chat.
You too. Have a good night.
You too.
Oh, you